Human beings are strongly dependent with other humans.
Social work practice with groups builds on the important impacts of groups on individuals and utilizes group processes to accomplish individual and group goals.
Enhancement of the social functioning through the use of group is the primary aim of group work.
I am Claudia Paglinawan and my partner.
My name is Jemima Manugka,
And we are the Group 7 reporters for the Remedial Model. Our report is everything about the Remedial Model.
This model is for restoration.
And also for rehabilitation.
Task focus of this model is to increase social functioning, a remedy for social dysfunctioning, and for individual change.
The Remedial Model, also known as the Social Treatment Model or Michigan Approach, originated from the work of the Group Work faculty at the University of Michigan, led by Robert Winter. This approach focuses also on psychotherapy groups as a means of addressing and remedying psychological issues within a social context.
The Remedial Model emphasizes the power of group dynamics in facilitating social treatment and personal growth. It views individuals not in isolation but as interconnected beings influenced by their social environment. This model suggests that through participation in psychotherapy groups, individuals can explore, understand, and address psychological challenges with the support and insights gained from their peers.
The target of the Remedial Model. This approach is designed to assist individuals in our country, such as out-of-school youth, street children, and drug users who may be on risky paths without timely intervention. It's relevant for agencies focused on social control, addressing deviant behavior due to norm or law violations. This includes clients in correctional institutions, rehabilitation centers, and mental health facilities. The model is also suitable for those seeking support in acquiring new knowledge, skills, and values. For instance, it can help parents from low-income families or patients dealing with medical conditions to develop new perspectives and overcome challenges.
Now, let's proceed to the interactional view of deviance. This model is characterized by its perspective on deviance. According to Winter, challenging behavior arises and persists due to interactions between the client and individuals or situations. Robert Winter referred to this as an interactional perspective on deviance, outlining its key characteristics. All behavior amenable to change is regarded as socially induced, acquired through learning and related processes. It is exhibited, evoked, or constrained within the context of specific social situations. Behavior that can be changed is influenced by society, learned through various processes, and is expressed within specific social situations. This means our actions, which can be altered, are shaped by the society we're part of. We learn these behaviors through experiences and processes. How we behave is influenced by the particular social situations we find ourselves in. Consider a person in a community where certain actions are considered deviant. If this person starts adopting new behaviors that challenge the community's norms, like unconventional art or non-traditional beliefs, their deviation is influenced by social factors. The community's reactions, whether accepting or condemning, play a role in shaping and constraining this deviant behavior within that specific social context. Behavior lie both within the individual and within the social situation. Behavior, moreover, is judged, encouraged, or sanctioned by others within the person's immediate social situation. Behavior comes from both individual traits and skills, as well as the social environment with its opportunities and demands. Additionally, how we behave is evaluated, supported, or discouraged by those around us in our immediate social circle. This indicates that our actions stem from a combination of who we are and the circumstances around us. Furthermore, the judgments and responses from people close to us have a significant impact on how our behavior is shaped, whether through encouragement, support, or disapproval. Consider someone with a talent for art. In a community that values more conventional professions, the person's behavior choosing art as a career is influenced by both their individual trait in the social environment. The community's judgment and response, whether supportive or critical, play a role in shaping how this deviant behavior is perceived and sustained within that immediate social situation. These actions between persons constitute a series of interactions which shape and sustain behavioral patterns. The judgments and responses of others must be regarded as crucial features of all behavioral patterns. Interactions between people shape and maintain how we behave. The opinions and reactions of others are vital aspects influencing our behavioral patterns. This suggests that our actions are not isolated events but are part of an ongoing series of interactions with others. These interactions play a significant role in informing and continuing our behavioral habits. Importantly, the judgments and responses from those around us are critical elements that contribute to the development and persistence of our behavioral patterns. Imagine someone in a community where conformity is highly valued. If this person consistently challenges societal norms, their ongoing interactions with others will shape whether this deviant behavior continues or diminishes. The community's judgments and responses to this person's actions will significantly impact the sustainability of their deviant behavioral patterns.
Now, let's move on to the treatment group. Robert Winter views the treatment group as a small social system, a community of individuals. He believes that these groups' influence can be purposely guided in planned ways to bring about changes in how clients behave. Essentially, social forces that naturally emerge within these small groups are intentionally harnessed to achieve specific goals aimed at modifying the behavior of the individual seeking help. The person assisting, often a worker, plays a role in shaping the group's composition, development, and the way it functions. According to Robert Winter, when people work together in a treatment group, it's like a small social community. He believes we can purposely guide the influence of this group to help individuals change their behavior. The person guiding the process, often a worker, has a role in shaping how the group is made up, how it develops, and how it works. Winter sees the treatment group as having a dual role. It acts both as a tool for treatment and as the environment in which treatment occurs. As a tool, the group becomes a vehicle through which interactions and influences among peers are utilized to impact individual members. Essentially, the dynamics within the group are used intentionally to bring about changes in the behavior of its members. Simultaneously, as a context, the group provides opportunities for direct interactions between the worker and the individual seeking help. These direct interactions within the group setting contribute to the overall process of bringing about positive changes in the client. Winter thinks of the treatment group as having a dual purpose. First, it acts like a tool for treatment, using interactions and influences among peers to help individuals change. Second, it provides a setting where the person seeking help can directly interact with the worker or therapist. These interactions within the group setting are seen as opportunities that contribute to making positive changes in the individual. Winter's treatment sequence comprises various stages, each marked by specific events, decisions by the practitioner, and experiences for the client. It aligns with the phases in group development, indicating shift in the group's internal structure, processes, and culture. Now, Winter's conception helping process are intake, diagnosis and treatment planning, group composition and formation, group development and treatment, and evaluation and termination. Now, let's talk about the first one. Intake is when a person shares their problem with the worker, explaining it as they see it. The worker studies the person and their situation to make a first understanding of the issue, which might be different from what was initially shared. If there's limited time or information needs to be gathered from others, the intake process may take more than one meeting. For individual intake, it ends with the person committing to getting help and the worker committing to providing service. But it can also stop if they decide not to continue. This might happen if the agency can't handle the problem and a referral to another place is needed, or if the person can't meet certain agency conditions like attending meetings regularly. How much information the worker needs depends on things like the problem's nature and the setting. For example, in an institution, if there's information from the client's admission and records, only a bit more might be needed. But if a worker is forming a group of out-of-school youth, they might start with almost no information. Imagine someone joins a community group for youth led by a worker. During the intake, the person talks about feeling lost and struggling in school. The worker learns more, discovering the underlying issue is bullying at school. The person commits to getting support, and the worker commits to helping them. But if, for some reason, the group can't address the bullying issue, the worker might suggest seeking help from a school counselor for a more specialized solutions. The diagnosis and treatment planning. After understanding a client's situation, the worker digs deeper to assess the problem, the client's ability to change, and available resources. They gather more information from various sources like previous teachers or employers. If the client doesn't provide needed information, the worker asks for permission to get it. The worker then carefully analyzes all this information, ensuring it's accurate, reliable, and relevant to the client's problem. They create a diagnostic statement summarizing the client's situation and outlining treatment goals and plans. A diagnostic statement is made for each group member, serving as a guide for the worker, a basis for evaluating their work, and a foundation for setting treatment goals for the group. Before forming the group, the worker may gather the potential members to observe and let them experience the group dynamics. However, the actual grouping is only decided after all interested members have been interviewed. Consider a worker helping a group of students facing academic challenges. After the initial meetings, the worker learns that some students struggle due to bullying, while others face difficulties due to learning disabilities. The worker gathers more information, consulting with teachers and counselors, and observes how students interact during a group discussions. Using this information, the worker creates a diagnostic statement for each student, outlining their unique challenges and setting specific goals tailored to their needs, like improving self-confidence or developing effective study habits. This information becomes the basis for organizing the group and guiding the workers' effort to help each student achieve their goals. Group composition and formation. In this stage, the worker has two main tasks: assigning individuals to groups based on specific criteria and creating goals and plans for the group's treatment, including activities or programs. If more people qualify for the group than can be accommodated, the worker may request to form another group or maintain a waiting list for potential new members. The worker, armed with background information about each member, initiates discussions about individual goals and shows how the group can address similar problems collectively. Members are encouraged to share their motivations for joining, helping the group establish shared purposes for membership. During this stage, the worker plays a crucial role in guiding the group's development in the desired direction. In treatment groups, the worker takes a more directive role compared to other types of groups. The worker and the group collaboratively determine treatment goals, ensuring they aligned with both the agency's purposes and the group's shared objectives. The worker's openness to questions or doubts from group members, coupled with a clear presentation of the potential benefits of group membership, helps motivate commitment. Reiterating key points from previous sessions, addressing ambivalence among members, and careful preparation by the worker are vital for a successful group formation stage, setting the tone for the group's progress. Consider a worker forming a support group for individuals dealing with anxiety. During this stage, the worker discusses each member's specific goals and encourages them to see how the group experience can collectively address their shared challenges. Some members may have reservations about joining, and the worker openly addresses their concerns, emphasizing the potential gains from being part of the group. The group collectively agrees on their shared purposes, such as building a supportive community for managing anxiety. This sets the foundation for the group's journey towards the next stage of treatment. Group development and treatment. At this stage, the worker focuses on making the group effective for treating its members. The worker guides interactions and structures experiences to achieve specific treatment goals for each person. This is the action or implementation phase, where all plans to reach individual goals are put into practice. Winter's strategy of intervention, involving different ways of influencing the group, is applied during this stage. Imagine a worker leading a group for individuals dealing with stress. In this stage, the worker actively guides group discussions and plans activities that help each member cope with stress. The goal is to make the group an effective support system for everyone. For instance, the worker may introduce relaxation techniques or encourages open discussions about stress triggers. This hands-on approach is crucial for turning the group into a powerful tool for addressing individual members' needs. Evaluation and termination. In the final stage of the treatment sequence, the worker reviews the progress made by individual clients and decides whether to continue their membership or terminate the group. Periodic evaluations are done throughout, and the worker adjusts goals and plans as needed. This stage also involves preparing individuals or the group for separation if termination is decided. For evaluations, the worker refers back to diagnosis statements to assess individual progress and group treatment goals for overall progress. Treatment groups end for reasons such as achieving goals, maximizing benefits, client dropouts, or if the agency can't continue the service. In treatment groups, members may leave at different times, some earlier as goals are met, and new members may join in open groups. Members could also be transferred to other groups or referred to different services. Consider a worker leading a support group for individuals overcoming addiction. As the group progresses, the worker regularly evaluates each member's progress based on the initial diagnostic statements. When it becomes evident that treatment goals are substantially achieved for some members, the worker may decide to allow them to leave the group. However, new members could join to benefit from ongoing support. The final stage involves careful consideration of individual achievements and group progress, determining whether to continue or terminate the group, and preparing members for any changes. In conclusion, the treatment sequence, as outlined in the Remedial Model, provides a structured approach to addressing clients' needs within a group setting. Beginning with the intake process, where clients present their concerns, the worker proceeds through diagnosis and treatment planning, group composition and formation, group development and treatment, and finally, the review and termination stage. This systematic process ensures that individual goals are addressed, group dynamics are leveraged for collective progress, and periodic evaluations guide necessary adjustments. Ultimately, the remedial model offers a comprehensive framework for effective group interventions, fostering positive changes and addressing the diverse needs of its members. And that ends our report.